Yo, what's going on YouTube? How you guys doing? Welcome to a brand new lore episode. Now, today we are going over the lore of Terminus. Now, this is a long one that I've been wanting to do for a long time now. I've kind of covered it a little bit when I went over HuZh's lore, but you know, this just kind of proves it. And also, we're using a little bit of the cinematic that HuZh released during HRX. So we've got some images from there that I've screenshotted that just kind of prove my theory just a little bit. But yeah, so let's just get straight into what the Paladins wiki lore says about Terminus anyway. So whatever Terminus once was, he has since become an instrument of war, fighting on behalf of the magistrate. His mind and memories are long gone. His broken body bound by dark sorcery and unstable magic crystals. His lifeless yet undying state may be a mere shadow of his former self, but it has also rid him of hesitation and fear. He obediently charges into battle with reckless abandon, hithering a terrifying axe. Sorry, I can't read. Axe that few mortals could lift and even fewer could hope to endure. Right. So my theory is that HuZh killed Terminus, and Terminus has been risen back to life. So this kind of just confirms it in a way that it kind of talks about how his body is now being taken over by by the magistrate with dark sorcery magic and evil crystals and all that crap. He no longer remembers himself. He no longer remembers the people he used to connect with, stuff like that. So yeah, Terminus is kind of just like, it's kind of like a goner, really. He does what he's told, and he's an instrument of war, basically. But there's a couple of things I want to go over that just prove that Terminus is dead, basically, and that his soul is trapped, and just proves, like, voice lines and stuff that just prove it. And this is all that we all really have to go off. Stuff. So once again, this is kind of all speculation until HuZh confirms it, but it's pretty much confirmed. Really, it is pretty much confirmed. But I'm just going to be reinforcing it. So yeah, there's a couple of voice lines here that I'm going to read really quick. That when Terminus will say when either he dies or when he gets low on health. So when he gets low on health, he says it's almost over. So he's like, the pain, he doesn't want to hurt people, because the stone people, if he's the same race as Inara, so the stone people don't want to hurt people. They're more of like carers, nurturers, stuff like that. They're more protectors than anything. And Terminus doesn't like doing all of that, because he is obviously a stone person, and we do know from the cinematic that he was once related to Inara. We don't really know what the backstory with him and Inara are, which I'll try to dig into. But yeah, so we do know that Inara and Terminus are somewhat related with each other. They know each other somehow. Well, they used to know each other somehow anyway. Terminus no longer remembers. He has little fragments, and which we'll cover a little bit later. But apart from that, it's pretty much just all a blur to him. So yeah, he says it's almost over when he gets low on health, meaning he wants to die. He wants to be free of this curse the magistrate have put on him. Another little thing is when he dies and he uses his ultimate, if it's on the friendly side, you will hear please let me die, and then you'll hear Terminus's like evil voice, because he has like his normal like pre-death voice, which is like a normal man's voice, and then he has his like his voice now where it's like evilish, it's like echoey, it's demonic, and he screams no. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard it countless times during like matches and stuff. So yeah, it's there's one more. Let me try to find it. Right, so there's another one when he dies, and he actually dies. He says, "I am free, thank you." And there's another thing that points out that HuZh killed him. He says, "Not again." Like he's dying. So it just emphasizes that HuZh killed him at one point. And when Inara kills him, he says, "I deserve this. Like, he deserves to be killed. He deserves to be killed by Inara because of the things he's done while in this form." And he doesn't respect himself. He calls himself a monster. Whenever he kills Inara, he actually calls himself a monster. He goes, what is it he says? He says, "What have I done? No, I am a monster." So he recognizes that he is this monster, but he physically can't fight the urge to do it because of the crystal implanted in him that keeps him alive, and there's this curse that is keeping Terminus alive. I find it quite funny when whenever he kills Ash, he says, "Now you will break. Haha, how does it feel?" So if it again emphasizes the point that Ash killed him once, and this is kind of vengeful in a way, that when he says this, it's with revenge in mind. He kills her with revenge in mind, hoping to do what she did to him, to break him, to break him. Now it makes me think, is Ash, because Ash is part of the Magistrate, so is Ash at this point evil? Because the Magistrate is seen as the evil side, and the what they call them, the Paladins, or the I can't remember the other name. Resistance. There we go. My bad. The Paladins or the Resistance are seen as the good guys. Now, just because Ash is on the bad side doesn't necessarily mean she's a bad person. Now, this is because, Talos talks about her in a couple of voice lines. He says, "I won't give up on you. You're fighting for the wrong side," stuff like that. So Ash in general doesn't come off as like a bad person anyway. She comes off as quite a caring person. In a couple of her voice lines, she talks about Willow. I think she says, "Stay behind me, sweetheart," or something like that. Them leaves are gonna do jack shit to protect you. She doesn't say jack shit, obviously, but that's just my way of saying it. But so she seems to care about the people she fights alongside with. She doesn't seem to be a ruthless monster that kills endlessly, recklessly, and just without hesitation. You know what I mean? She does it with thought, thinking that what she's doing is right, when in fact the side she's actually fighting for is wrong. And I feel like Ash has been left out on a lot of stuff, and if she knew the actual truth of the Magistrate and what they're capable of, then she would instantly, like that in a heartbeat, switch sides. And hopefully we see this like change in time, where we see people change sides and stuff, because I would love to see Ash move over to the Resistance and try bring Terminus with her, like, or something like that, or maybe even see Terminus be cured, or some like cured of his what has happened, and he gets his memories back or something like that. I don't know, but it'd be really cool to see something like this. So yeah, just there's not much else really we've gone over at all. Ash basically killed Terminus. The Magistrate collected his body, fused it with a magical crystal that keeps him alive, and every single time he dies, he just regenerates health, comes back to life. So it's quite a bad thing. It's quite depressing, to be honest. The fact that he's never able to die and he has no control over himself. So it's quite a bad thing. But it's happened. Terminus is under control of the Magistrate. Ash is seen as evil, but she's not evil, don't worry. She just doesn't know what she's doing, or at least I think anyway. Hopefully she isn't like some kind of mastermind where she's horrible or something. I don't know, but so that's what all I've really got about this. So if you guys enjoyed this little lore video, then go ahead, leave a like and stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.